Vanessa Selbst has King Jack on the button, and she is raising. A min raise to 12K. Javier Contreras is King 10 suited.
Boy, even though it's a scary proposition to let the action get back around to her, and we know he's dominated, I kind of feel like you have to 3-bet a button raise from Vanessa.
He does. 32,000 he makes it.
Especially with suited Broadway cards, you just gotta.
The big blind folds. And Vanessa will eye his stack.
Oh god, she wants to know how much I have. Gulp. Please don't 4-bet, please don't 4-bet.
She's going to make the call and play the flop in position.
Vanessa's got position, and she's got him dominated, though he does have the betting lead for now.
The flop is ace, jack, 7.
Vanessa flops second pair of the jack again. Contreras only with a king high and a gut shot.
He will continue for 42,000.
He's pretty much forced to continue against Vanessa's range. Vanessa did not back down in a similar spot before.
Considering her options. And she elects to call.
Probably not what he wanted to see with king high.
3 of hearts on the turn. Contreras picks up a flush draw.
Still got that gut shot draw as well.
Now this time he's checked.
So he's given up the betting lead.
Vanessa checks behind.
All right, well, he's going to get a free card.
It's a heart.
Ding.
Contreras with the nut flush. Don't think he'll be too worried about that paired board.
Interesting game they just played there. Contreras immediately reached for chips, and Vanessa did the same.
He bets 83,000.
I will admit that Contreras has taken a pretty interesting line, but I don't really see him ever bluffing in this spot.
Does Vanessa make the call?
All in.
She shoves instead! And Contreras calls.
Nice call. You got it. Have jack. No, no. Go flush? Yeah.
I don't think Vanessa thought Contreras was bluffing, but she just didn't think he was as strong as he was.
She's just lost more than half her stack.
Aggressive Vanessa again has a legit hand, but the table perception may be that she's steaming. She could possibly use this to her advantage.
Looks like she's counting out chips for a re-raise. It is a 3-bet to 44,000.
My guess is she probably wouldn't mind a 4-bet get it in here with Azan.
He has position on Vanessa, and he will make the call and see a flop.
Vanessa does have him dominated.
There's a jack on the flop, and Azan takes the lead.
Not good for Vanessa.
Will she continue? No, she checks. 94,500 in the middle.
It's a fairly wet board. Azan would do well to bet here.
He does, makes it 50,000.
Vanessa's eyeballing Azan's stack. If she decides to play back, I don't think it'll end well, because I don't know if anyone should ever get away from ace-jack in this spot against her.
She shoved.
Probably better than just calling, but I fear she's going to be looked up.
Azan makes the call, and she knows she's beat. And she only has 2 outs.
Jacks. I don't have anything.
Vanessa punts her stack, and now she's kicking herself.
At one point, she was running all over this table. Where did it all go wrong?
Vanessa mentioned how she rarely min cashes. This is one step above that, but still, she'd be very disappointed to go out here.
Well, she's picked up additional outs on the turn. Vanessa now with a flush draw. Any king, any spade would save her tournament life. Here comes the river card. It's the 7 of clubs. So Vanessa Selbst finishes in 84th place here at EPT Barcelona,
Okay.
earning herself 10,000 euros. Action is on Vanessa, and with pocket fours, she raises from under the gun +1 to 17k. 9-10 of diamonds for Mihai Manole, he folds. Andrew Chen gets out of the way. Kevin McPhee has ace-9 offsuit on the button.
Ace-9 can be a bit of a troublesome hand, but Vanessa's very active, and Kevin could be ahead of her range.
Kevin re-raises, back on Vanessa.
Now, Vanessa knows how little credit Kevin's going to be giving her for a hand most of the time. Looks like she's got a pretty good read on this situation.
Liv supporting both her friend Vanessa and boyfriend Kevin.
She's super.
Vanessa re-raises a 4-bet to 79,000.
Against just about any other player, I think this is the point where Kevin would probably ditch this like an ugly date on prom night.
Whoa, he's just 5-bet to 131,000.
Ayah with ace-9 offsuit. Now take what I just said about Kevin and apply it to Vanessa.
How much do you have left?
You know, like this many. This is absolute insanity with these two hands. Did we get the graphics right?
Come on, win.
She 6-bet shoves.
Double Ayah.
Still probably have the best hand.
It's possible you're going to have the best hand against Vanessa, but I just don't know how often she's doing this with a hand that ace-9 is crushing.
Such a sick spot. It's almost enough out there for me to just call it off. And I think I dominate some of your range sometimes. And then crushed if it's just value.
Well, it's neither of those, except for the fact that he's somehow gotten himself into a spot where he's getting almost 4-1.
I just feel like my hand is good here for some reason. Just gotta read. Just take every spot.
How did this happen? If he calls here, this is going to be very, very ugly for someone, namely Liv.
Only done something like this a couple times ever.
I know you've got to consider the source, but this is absolutely insane. He's painted himself into a real corner here.
My plan was to snap as far as wide as I thought you were gonna shove. So I think I have to do it. Title defense. 2 years later, I call.
OMG, he calls.
You have ace-jack?
No,
I have a pair.
I have ace-9.
Correct reaction. You're complicit in this too, Selbsty.
What just happened?
Huh? You think that's a snap?
Snap fold, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
There's him. Nice call, I guess.
If you're shoving fours, you're probably shoving ace-5 suiteds and stuff. Can't imagine that you would exclude those from your range if fours are in there.
He does have a point.
The flop has an ace on it.
Because you're Vanessa Selbst.
McPhee takes the lead. Vanessa needs a 4.
Sick race.
Nice him.
McPhee's set to get a huge double up here. And another ace for good measure.
The needle. She can't believe it. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
As hard as it is to believe, that just happened.
Very nice him.
Vanessa has pocket jacks in the big blind. She calls the 3-bet.
Interesting just call from Vanessa. By doing this, she both balances her range and prevents taking another flip.
What does Vlachos do now the action's back on him? He folds.
Very tight fold from Vlachos. We know there were some aces and kings out there, but I don't see how you fold ace-king to a 3-bet with a bunch of other supposed dead money out there.
Very curious. Well, at least Torsen doesn't compound his error by calling again.
He was getting better than 3-1.
The flop is Queen, Deuce, Jack. Top pair for Chen, a set for Vanessa Selbst.
This could get very ugly for Andrew Chen. Looks like Vanessa's thinking of donking out here. Chen was the last aggressor.
She does donk. She bets 80,000.
This is probably going to look pretty funny to Andrew, but I'd say his chances of getting away here are about as good as Vanessa and I dating.
Counts out 80,000 chips. He will make the call.
He makes the call, drawing nearly dead. Only 7% equity.
313,000 in the middle. 8 of diamonds on the turn. Chen does now have a flush draw.
Flush draw to go with his top pair. Now his chances of getting away are about as good as me and Liv dating. Great spot for Vanessa to keep firing.
She bets 150,000.
She's probably putting Andrew on his exact hand, though it may be more difficult to sense the fact that he's also got diamonds.
Andrew Chen, a very deliberate player. He elects to make the call, which means we will go to the river. The pot now 613,000. Vanessa with just over 300 behind. Chen gets there on the river.
No.
I'm all in.
I call.
Vanessa shoves. Chen insta-calls and shows her he's got the nuts.
And Vanessa Selbst is out of here.
That is incredible. A few hands ago, Vanessa Selbst was second in chips in the tournament. Now she's out. 48th place. She will be bitterly disappointed. Vanessa Selbst has 7-5 suited.
This would be an awfully light call, so I think typically if Vanessa's playing this hand, she's 3-betting it.
No, she's calling.
String calling.
Siva folds the button. Gruesome in the small blind will also pass. Antonio gives up the big blind. We're off to the flop. And it's Jack 4 deuce with 2 clubs.
Pretty good flop for Doc. Pairs his kicker, has the backdoor flush draw, got the wheel draw.
He continues for 84,000.
Now Vanessa's gonna go for the raise when she's missed completely.
Interesting. 233,000 total.
Presumably because she just called last time before the flop with a huge hand. Hey Miranda, this is what it looks like when your fiance punts. Doc is going nowhere.
He calls the raise. And with 659,000 in the middle, we're off to the turn, which is the queen of clubs. Sands now with the nut flush draw to go with his pair, albeit bottom pair.
Such a good card for Doc and subsequently a terrible one for Vanessa to continue her bluff.
Sands has checked to her.
Oh boy, it's 4th and 25 and Vanessa is bringing in the kicker.
She bets 347,000 with absolutely nothing.
Now don't get me wrong, this is a heck of a stone bluff. Unfortunately, Doc's got a hand that just always has massive equity against Vanessa's range. A lot of the time she's gonna be monkeying around, and worst case scenario, he's never drawing dead.
He calls the bet. The pot is now over 1.35 million. Vanessa is the effective stack. She has 1.1 million behind.
And she is gonna have to empty the clip on the river, and even that might not work. Did I say might not work? I meant definitely won't work.
Yes, she's paired her 5, but it's the 5 of clubs. The stone cold nuts for Doc Sands, and he checks it!
She can empty the clip all she wants. She is firing blanks. Better just throw down your guns and come out with your hands up.
I'm all in.
Call.
She bluff shoves the river!
You're good.
Snap! The nuts are good.
Just nothing. Nice hand. Yeah, ace jack with ace clubs.
Vanessa Selbst is out.
Again.
Wicked good check by Sands on the end.
He checked and she just shifted.
Ace jack for Vanessa Selbst in the small blind. The chip leader calls.
Even with a huge stack, Vanessa playing this cautiously.
Dan Shak with 9-10 of clubs in the big blind, and he calls as well for an additional 60,000.
He's getting great immediate pot odds with suited connectors, and he's actually the favorite 3-ways.
3-way to the flop, which gives Vanessa top pair, second pair for Dan Shak, plus a flush draw, plus a backdoor straight draw.
Oh boy, this could get uglier than Quato from Total Recall.
Well, it doesn't look like Vanessa intends to play in flow. She leads for 165,000.
To just call pre-flop from the small blind and then lead here, Vanessa's range is rarely nothing.
$400.
Dan Shak raises to 400,000, gets an insta-fold from Antonio Esfandiari.
This board is super wet, which is going to make Vanessa not worry so much about sets and 2 pairs. If Dan had a super monster and Vanessa led into him, wouldn't he probably just call and let her lead again on the turn? It's free money. So no, I don't see Vanessa folding top pair, top kicker here.
Call.
She calls. There is now 1.25 million in the middle. Huge pot building here on the bubble, and there are 3 guys at the table running on vapor. The board pairs on the turn. Vanessa now a 3-1 favorite. She checks.
All in.
And Shak shoves!
OMG ICM suicide. I commend Dan Shak for having stones so big. They are now considered the islands of the Bahamas, but this bluff is risking crazy amounts of real money against a person with a stupid strong range.
I call.
Vanessa calls! And Dan Shak is at risk of bubbling the super high roller.
What a ridiculous sweat. And everyone is just giddy with the prospect of making the money. It's like they're 8 and someone announced a pizza party.
The short stacks don't believe it.
Yeah, these two, not quite as giddy. What an unnecessarily huge pot.
Dan Shak does have 11 outs. He can hit a club or a 10 on the river. It's a 10!
That was not supposed to happen. He's doing a victory lap. He's coming back.
Dan Shak doubles up and takes the chip lead from Vanessa Selbst.
I just didn't think it.
Dan, don't say anything. Don't. Not too late.
I just lost like 2 million chips. I lost 2 million chips. Dan got me on the river, yeah. He pushed on the turn, I called, and he had 11 outs. Yeah. I just lost 2 million chips. No. He raised and then he just jammed on a bluff, or like a semi-bluff, and I called.
And he got there. That's the crucial part of the story, Miranda. He got there.
And there's a clash between everyone's favorite super high roller rivals, Dan Shak and Vanessa Selbst.
All right, everybody, shut up for a second. Shut up. It's Vanessa Selbst and Dan Shak. I want popcorn. Where's my popcorn?
And look at that flop. 2 pair for Selbst, a set for Shak.
Boom, shakalaka.
What is it with these two?
This hand is the worst thing to happen to a Vanessa since the last time Dan Shak did this to Vanessa.
Well, Selbst was the pre-flop aggressor. She continues the flop for 45,000.
And the sick part, she is champing at the bit to get another raise in here.
Well, Shak has made it 125,000. Vanessa can now 3-bet. She makes it 210,000.
You guys are gonna want to see this.
I'm all in.
A shove and a call.
Hold on to your potatoes.
Is that real?
Yes, it's very real.
She's got 4 outs.
Vanessa needs a king or a jack. And she needs to hit on the river. She's out.
Can you do?
Never, ever, ever play against Dan Shak.
Okay.
I seriously can't even believe that just happened again. Vanessa's gonna need to start labeling what she puts in the fridge because Dan Shak keeps eating her lunch. Vanessa maybe steaming a bit after that last hand. Looks like she's getting right back on the horse.
Raises to 1,300 as Fondiari quickly out. Spirit rockets for Prahlad Friedman.
By the way, when I start calling Prahlad parlay in front of you guys, it's because I've been doing it for 5 years. He parlayed $50 into 50,000 one weekend.
And then that 50,000 is now what?
I don't know, 40 million or something.
7.2 million or something?
But I was like,
What's it like to have 7.2 million?
I would not know.
It's gotta be more than 7.2.
Right, it's more than 7.2.
Prahlad's very likely to be adding to that 7.2 now. Vanessa's starting to look a little defiant.
2 of the greatest poker minds.
I know, I like watching this
Right?
stuff and
I
not
love
being in the hand.
Spirit and Vanessa battles.
Antonio may be driving the action a bit with his mouth. Vanessa knows her own reputation, so she knows Prahlad could be 3-betting her light, thinking she's raising light, which she is. And if that's the case, she could get into some real trouble here.
4-bet to 13,200 with the jack high.
So typically a Vanessa Selbst 4-bet is going to start to get some credibility, which means if Prahlad thinks she's got some kind of hand, he'll easily put in a 5th bet. Another thing to consider, if Prahlad wants to continue to have Vanessa think he's bluffing, he's more likely to raise again than he is to just call.
It is 5 bets to 35,000.
It's 30, 35.
All right, well, this looks like a pretty easy fold for Vanessa.
But she hasn't dumped her cards yet. Joe, what in the world could she be thinking about here?
Well, she might be a little steamy from that last hand still, and is probably leveling herself with thoughts that Prahlad is just messing with her.
Now it looks like she wants to see how many chips Prahlad has left.
If she levels herself into thinking Prahlad is messing with her, this is going to be a disaster. She should be folding any second now.
Pot.
She puts in 6 bets with Jack high.
Oh boy.
1062.
$106,200 is now the bet.
This is an absolute punt. Let's count the hang time.
All right, I'm all in.
Prahlad is all in.
It is a mistake. I call.
Vanessa calls.
I can't.
Aces for Prahlad.
No, no, no.
He's got aces.
Yeah, I know, I know.
I'll bet you
How
he's got
many do you
aces.
want to run it?
He has aces.
It's like 100%.
Of course. She has ace, king, or kings.
Nope, I have nothing. Twice?
Whatever you want.
Let's do 3 times.
Sure.
Nice hand.
She has live cards.
Oh boy.
How much do you have?
He's got you covered, I think.
60, 170, something.
So they're going to run it 3 times.
Almost spoke to win. Couldn't do it.
How many times do you guys say you're running?
3.
3 times.
Nice hand. I'm gonna leave if I don't.
I think I speak for Vanessa when I say, Even worse, some of Vanessa's outs have been folded, so she's a bigger dog than she thinks.
First of 3 runs coming up. Winner will get a third of the pot. King 4-5.
That's not good.
She'll need runner, runner.
6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds.
Don't waste it.
6 of diamonds would that be the best card?
6 of diamonds would give her straight and flush draws.
God.
To the turn. 9 of hearts.
All right. Put a deuce of clubs. Oh, ace of clubs is good.
I think Prahlad knows the time for speeches is over.
River 10 of hearts, and Prahlad has locked up a third of the pot worth over 113K.
I'm such a. Why do I do this to myself? Every time. Not every time. I usually don't do this to myself anymore. What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing. I'm just, you know.
Pretty sure he was laughing.
Here comes the second of 3 runs. 8 king 5 2 diamonds flush draw for Vanessa.
It's already a diamond over there.
There it is. That's the spirit. Show the other diamonds. How
The
hard
6
it
of
is.
diamonds would definitely be more useful here than it was in the last one.
Vanessa only needs 1 more diamond.
Turn 5 of hearts.
Wow, Prahlad is strong. How did he dodge it there?
Missing the flush draw would be devastating. She's not likely to flop this good again.
To the river. No diamond, 3 of clubs.
What a brick.
Break ball.
Super brick.
Bricktastic.
So Prahlad is 2/3 of the way to scooping the biggest pot ever won on the big game.
What an absolute gift from Vanessa.
No jacks and 7s.
Run number 3. 4 6 king, 3 more bricks. This is getting hard to watch.
Not even a sweat.
Vanessa's dead to 2 pair trips or a straight, all of them runner, runner, or else Prahlad's gonna need a wheelbarrow to bring all his money home.
To the turn. Deuce of spades.
Nice hand.
And Prahlad's gonna win a pot worth over $340,000.
Wow, Prahlad did it. That's sick.
All right, I'm out of here.
Nice playing with you, Vanessa.
Nice playing with you.
Good playing with you, Vanessa.
Why not win one of them?
Vanessa's gonna hit the rail, and with that, Prahlad Freeman has the biggest scoop in the history of the big game.
Enjoy.